Good afternoon, I'm Bob Toomey. It's a welcome to Around the Old Town. With me is Christy Coombs. Good afternoon, Christy. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks, Bob.
I know a very busy day for you in particular today.
Yeah, just like every other.
Yeah, right. One day is just the same. Today was a parade day, though, so that
Yeah.
was more in
Yeah,
celebration.
it was a lot of fun.
We're videotaping this the Tuesday after the Patriots' victory, their 5th Super Bowl win. And the Patriots and Christy have done many you've worked together in
Yeah.
fundraising and helping people out. And
Yeah.
Christy was at the parade today honoring the Patriots. So we're going to talk about some events that you have coming up.
Okay.
I'm just going to mention a couple of things that are on about the food pantry, and I just want to Mark Vasilian's passing of him today. It's sad because with Danny losing his son and Mark himself, it's just a sad thing. But again, the Abington people pull together, and
Yeah, they certainly do.
you know firsthand. It's all these things that go on. We're celebrating life and celebrating Mark's life, and just with the programs that you run and that you get involved in, you help so many people. So let's move into the positive.
Yeah.
Oh, today was Patriots Celebration Day. You were there. Anything you want to comment?
It was a lot of fun. The crowd was insane. The weather certainly didn't deter them. I had the luxury of having a friend invite me to go inside and watch it. We had a great third-floor view overlooking Tremont Street, and
Sure.
seeing all the crazies down below with getting snowed on and freezing. But it was a good 20 people deep. It was really insane, but it was a lot of fun to be in there.
Yeah, that's a rich aspect. And again, the Patriots have worked with you in various
Well,
fundraising events.
the Patriots have been generous to us, hosting us for a couple of parties that we've held for the military families. And right after 9/11, the Patriots organization was very good to the 9/11 families. And Joe Andruzzi in particular, former Patriot player who I believe has 3 Super Bowl rings, he still works with us, and he's always one of the first ones there when we ask. He supports us, and we turn around and support his foundation, which he does work for people going through cancer treatments. The work he does is incredible. So the Patriots have been very good to us over the years, and we hope to continue working with them.
I bet.
Yeah.
Now, we have a couple of events coming up, I understand.
We do, yeah.
Do you want to do it chronologically, or how do you want to?
Well, we have a couple of events because we're very fortunate to be part of the John Hancock Charity Marathon Program. Years ago, when John Hancock became sponsors of the Boston Marathon, they were given hundreds of bibs, and they could have done anything they wanted with the bibs.
Sure.
They could have given them to their employees, they could have given them to their clients, but they decided they have all these bibs, let's do something with them that's going to have an impact. Let's create this charity program. So they started giving the bibs by application to 501c3 nonprofits, and those numbers could be given to runners who would vow to raise $5,000 for each charity, for that charity.
Fantastic.
And based on the size of the charity and the amount of money they could raise, that's how many bibs were given to each charity. So we were given 1 bib 5 years ago, and it turned out great. Our runner raised more than $5,000, and over the last couple of years, we were given 2 bibs because we did well with the fundraising, and then last year we had 2 runners who raised a total of $40,000 each, or between them. Oh. And so with that, John Hancock saw that we were really committing ourselves to the fundraising,
right.
And so they gave us 3 bibs this year.
Fantastic.
So we have 3 numbers, we have 3 runners, and because the fundraising is such an important part of being able to get the bibs back every year, I've asked our runners to raise a minimum of $7,500 each. And they've committed to doing that.
Sure.
So we have 3 runners. This year we have some out-of-towners. One of them is my friend Ken London's daughter-in-law, Danielle London. She's a dentist and studying to be an orthodontist in Oklahoma. Her husband actually ran last year for us, and she was really motivated by what he did.
Sure.
So she decided she wanted to run. So she's running for us. And Mary Hickey, who's from Abington, she's very big with the Abington Food Pantries, St. Vincent de Paul. Her son is in the Air Force. He's in the reserves. He's a former Capitol Police, and he's a police officer in Ohio, and still serves in the reserves. He's going to run for us.
Excellent.
And a young woman by the name of Margaret Freitas, who is a nurse in Boston and a mom of an infant. She's going to be running for us. So it's different this year with 2 out-of-town runners. But we're really excited. They're really motivated. They've been doing well with the fundraising. So what we do, since I know $7,500 is a lot of money to ask somebody to raise,
Sure.
Especially now since there are so many charity runners out there, everybody's running for somebody, which
Right.
is wonderful because of all the
Exactly.
money that's raised. And so we tell our runners that we will help you fundraise. You help us with the fundraisers, and we'll help you with the fundraisers. So we've set up this Caring Hearts Dinner Dance, which is the first one. Years ago, Sue Wakeland and I put on the PTO dances for the ECC way back when. Our oldest kids are now 29. So this was when they were at the ECC. So it was a long time ago. And they were a big hit. And they went on for years and years and years. And other organizations would have them too. And recently, there haven't been many.
No.
So we decided that we would bring that back to life and host a dance this Friday night. Just a lot of fun. Bring people together, with all the politics and everything. There's been such a negative overtone everywhere. The Patriots have brought that up with their great win.
Right.
But we wanted to do something fun and bring people together
Yeah.
and for a good cause. So we're having the dinner dance this Friday night at Emerald Hall. They're being very generous to us with helping us out with the cost. And so it's a roast chicken dinner and homemade desserts. We've got some desserts donated, and people are bringing desserts that they're making at home. We've got some great raffles, a new twist on raffles. We're going to be playing a game. We've got my friend Sean, who does the road race for us as a DJ. He's going to be there to DJ. And Jim Wells has generously donated a raffle ticket, scratch ticket board that we'll be raffling off.
Sure.
And so, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. We'll also have some great silent auction items. We've got your usual dinners, fun gift baskets, things like that. We also have an overnight at the Cape, two nights away at the Cape, some various dinners and sports memorabilia and things like that. So there's a lot going on and a lot to come out for. And
Sure.
what else are you going to be doing on a Friday night?
Is it a live band or is it a
No, it's a DJ.
Oh,
Yep.
your friend Sean.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's a DJ, and tickets are $35 a person, or if you buy a table of 10, it's $300. So you save a little bit of money there.
Sure.
And there are still tickets available.
I know they were selling fast, but there
yeah,
are still some.
yeah.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to a great crowd. It's this Friday night, 7 to 11:30. And then at 5 o'clock in the morning, I get up and fly to Arizona.
You
So
start the next round of your events.
yeah, so we're looking forward to a good Friday night. And if people want to go, they can give me a call or give Mary Hickey a call. Our number will be posted at the end.
Sure.
You can also find us on Facebook. It's plastered all over Facebook. It's called the Caring Hearts Dinner Dance.
It's not just for married couples or anything.
No,
There'll be
not
plenty
at
of
all.
singles there.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's got sort of a Valentine theme, but we don't want it to be focused on Valentine's Day because, I want people who don't have a significant other to feel like they can come and enjoy themselves.
Yeah. Be a
And
fun time.
just, have a really fun time. And I'm also encouraging the millennials, the kids, our kids who are now adults to
Right.
come.
29 years ago,
Because, yeah, absolutely. They bring a whole nother level of energy to this
exactly
kind
right.
of event.
And it's good to keep them involved and get them to understand
Right.
the value of this.
Right. And what I want to stress to people is, the Jeff Coombs Memorial Foundation has been around for 15 years.
It's hard to believe.
They've seen the good work that we've done. And, I feel like I don't have to keep reiterating this, but then again, I feel like I do. Because every penny that we raise from this event this weekend, after we pay our expenses, which are going to be minimal, will go right back into the foundation.
Right.
Our marathon runners who are raising money for us, that's $7,500 or more that each of them raises is going right back to the foundation. John Hancock takes none of it. The marathoners take none of it. They even pay their own registration fee, their own
Imagine.
$355 to run the marathon.
Sure.
And what we do for them is, I give them a little goodie bag at marathon time and we buy their shirts. But every penny is going right back into the foundation to help the families that need it.
Sure.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of tragedy in Abington. There's a lot going on in Abington with families who need the extra help. We adopted a number of families at Christmas time from Abington Public Schools. We helped out a lot of families throughout the last year. We've given out probably over $50,000 in scholarships to Abington students over the last 15 years.
It's phenomenal.
And so,
And it's
yeah.
not just Abington. Right?
Oh, no, it's
Right,
it's
right.
Massachusetts-wide.
Right,
It's
yeah.
statewide. And, you know, we do this not by ourselves. We do it, obviously, with the help of everyone else. And, you know, the foundation, when they get recognized, it helps the foundation receive credibility for what we do. You know, we received a Point of Light award from President Bush recently. And, you know, that says that the work you're doing is real, and
It's
we
being
appreciate what
recognized.
you're doing, yeah.
And recently the
So-
Celtics honored you.
Yeah, I was, Ken London nominated the foundation to be a hero among us at a Celtics game recently against Orlando. It was 2 Fridays ago. And so it was the most surreal experience ever to be down on the court in the middle of a game, you know, during a timeout. And, you know, as I said, I don't like the recognition for me. The recognition is for the foundation because, you know, I just decide where the money goes, and everybody else helps raise the money.
Sure.
And so it's definitely a group effort. But that, as I said, that kind of recognition is good for the foundation because when we go to somebody like the New England Patriots, or like, you know, another big business or even a small business, and we can say to them, we were honored by the Celtics for the work that we do, that gives us credibility.
Exactly.
It makes us real. And they're more quick to open their wallet
Sure.
or, you know, give us a donation.
Well, you mentioned how all the money goes directly towards the causes.
Right.
Some of these foundations, they have a lot of executives, and
Right.
they're top heavy, and they give salaries,
Right.
et cetera. You do it strictly on an all volunteer
Right,
basis.
we do. And you know, I need the website redone, and we look for people to do that.
To voluntarily do it.
Yeah,
Right.
to help us out with it. And I realize there are some things you have to pay for.
Right.
And, you know, we shop around, we get the best price when we have to do that. We get a lot of the printing donated.
Sure.
So our overhead is probably 3% of what we bring in maybe goes to overhead.
But
And-
that's a legitimate cost.
Right,
That's right.
yeah. I mean, I'm certainly not
It's
paid.
not a salary
Nobody else
for
in
you
our
and-
organization
right.
is paid. And,
Right.
and yeah, it's a lot of fun to do this. It's a full-time job, but it's definitely worth it, especially when you see the smiles on people's faces when you're able to help them out. And the letters I get as a result of it are just, you know,
Yeah,
it
it's
really warms your
heartwarming,
heart.
I'm sure,
Yeah.
sure. Especially like you said, this Christmas was tough financially.
Right,
A lot
yeah.
of people are in trouble.
Yep.
And the fact you're willing and able to help them, it puts a smile on a kid's
and,
face.
And you know, I've been to a lot of fundraisers lately, and I hear people talk about how it helps them get through the tragedy that they're going through.
Right.
And you know, I was recently at the kickoff for the Martin Richard Foundation. Martin Richard was a little boy who was
Sure.
killed in the Boston Marathon bombing. So I was at their kickoff Friday night, and just listening to their runners talk about what it's like to run the Boston Marathon and raise money for the Martin Richard Foundation and see the incredible work that they do.
Right.
You know, it's really uplifting, and it really drives you to want to do more. And I know our runners feel that way too. They're honored to be chosen to run the marathon for us.
Right.
And knowing that they're raising this kind of money to help people who really need it. Because a lot of times when people come to the Jeff Coombs Foundation, they don't have any place else to go. You know, they've watered down all their other options.
Resources, yeah.
They may not be eligible for this kind of aid or that kind of aid because of their circumstance or
Right.
whatever. They may be between jobs and not have insurance or whatever the case.
Sure.
So we're able to help them out. And one other thing that we do is we don't just send them a check and call it a day. We'll, you know, if it means hiring a builder to build them
Right,
a
a ramp
wheelchair
or
ramp, we
something,
do
right.
that.
Yeah.
If I see that there's other need, I would get in touch with other nonprofits that I know and say, you know, apply to them, use my name, and see if they'll be able to help you
with
out.
that, sure.
So it's really, it's a network.
Right.
You know, as the,
Yeah, like a puzzle, everything pieces together.
exactly, as that trite saying goes, it takes a village. It certainly does, because I certainly can't do this by myself, and I don't do it by myself. And you know, with the work of all our donors and our volunteers and all the other nonprofits that we work with, it helps a lot of people.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for. I mean, life would be so much easier if people would
Right.
be more willing to help each other out.
Right. So after the Caring Hearts Dinner Dance in 1 month, we have another fundraiser. We're calling it a Run Raiser, and it's at a local establishment in Boston called the Kingston Grill and Bar on Kingston Street
Great.
near Downtown Crossing, and they close the bar for us for the night, and people pay $35 to get in. We have 2 great sponsors this year. We have Harpoon Brewery as a sponsor, and also the Boston Harbor Distillery, which I got connected with them through a book I was in that Bill Brett did. He does these
Bill.
coffee table
Yes.
books. He was a
He's the Globe photographer for
all-time
years, and-
photographer
right.
at the Globe, and now he's still a great photographer and
on
does
his
all
own.
kinds of work and
Yeah.
puts out these great books. And Rich Serino is in a couple of his books in the Boston, A Day in the
Right.
Life of Boston. and-
EMS.
yeah, and so I was in the Boston Inspirational Women book with this woman, Rhonda Kalman, and she is, at the time, she was the first woman to get into beer brewing. And now she's in a whiskey distillery called Boston Harbor Distillery. And so I connected with her. And again, it's that whole rotation, who you meet, you connect with, and
Right.
you work together. And so they've decided to come on as a sponsor for our Runraiser.
Excellent.
And so they'll be doing whiskey tastings, and we're happy to have them on board. We're thrilled.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And you know, again, to be associated by companies like that, it helps us in our quest to get, you know, donations for.
Right, that's another whole new field of people that be
Right,
willing to help. And
right.
again, because you've kind of been legitimized by Ron.
Exactly, yeah. So that event is March 4th in Boston from about 7 to 10 at night. And again, we've got 3 great packages for overnight stays in New Hampshire, in Newport.
Oh, you have
on the
raffles or
Cape.
something?
We've got raffles,
Yeah.
we've got silent auction items, we've got, you know, autographed things, we've got some great dinners. Last year we did it, and it was the first time we had done it. We filled the bar with 250 people
surprised.
and raised $13,000. So
That's
we're
fantastic.
hoping to do the same this year. And
If it's whiskey and that's on the 4th of March or 3rd of March, it'll probably go through the 17th because that's whiskey.
one thing we had last year that went over really big for an auction item was Dropkick Murphy gave us 2 tickets to their St. Patrick's Day concert, an autographed sign from the Dropkick Murphys,
Murphys,
and they got to meet them. And
Oh, Ken Casey does an awful
Yeah, I
lot.
reached out to Ken, hoping
Yeah.
we can get that again. And another thing we'll have for an auction item is Paul Wahlberg, who owns Wahlburgers
Oh.
and Almanove of the Wahlberg family. He's donated an 8-course dinner for 6, or is it a 6-course dinner for 8? I always get
Either
that mixed
way,
up,
yeah.
including wine. He comes to your home and he cooks it, cleans it, you know, serves it, the whole
phenomenal.
thing.
Yeah.
And so that'll be an auction item. So we're excited about that.
I
So-
bet. And then the run will be in April, the marathon.
Yes, so then the marathon, obviously this year it's Easter weekend.
I didn't know
And
that.
our runners can continue raising money through May for it to count toward the final total that we submit the amount to John Hancock.
yeah.
So they can then go out and say, you know, our runners raised X millions of dollars as a group. And, you know, the program is amazing. They have these meetings in Boston to, you know, let you know what's going on and to make sure you're doing the right thing with your runners. And they have little incentive programs. We raise our money through CrowdRise.
I'm not familiar with
And
that.
so it's if anybody wants to donate to our runners, they can go to crowdrise.com, put in the Jeff Coombs Memorial Foundation. It'll pop up with our 3 runners, and they can donate directly to our runners that way.
Fantastic.
So, or they can just donate toward the foundation, which is jeffcoombsfund.org. And if they want the money to go toward our fundraisers, our runners, then they can just put that in
Directly.
the notation.
I think
And-
Justin will be putting that up at the end, as you said, the
Yeah.
different websites that you have.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
so we have the dance first,
Yep.
and that's for everyone, singles included. you know,
Right,
just, It's a fun
absolutely.
time.
Yeah.
And you'll make a good time of it, I guarantee you. Just
Yeah.
knowing some of the people I know that have bought tickets, many of whom are single,
Yeah,
they're
it'll
enjoying
be a lot of
themselves.
fun.
Exactly. And then, like Christy said, maybe getting some of the new generation, some
Yeah.
of the millennials involved. And then we have the dinner dances first, and that's the 13th?
That's the 10th.
February 10th.
Yep.
At 7 p.m., it's a Friday night at the
At the Emerald
Emerald Hall.
Yep.
That's the VFW, the old
The old
VFW, for those
VFW,
who aren't familiar
yeah.
with it. And then
And then the Runraiser is March 4th.
Runraiser.
March 4th in Boston at 25 Kingston Street, the Kingston Grill and Bar.
Runraiser. I have to tell you, the fact Runraiser, years ago, I got a call from Jay Fee. Jay was the agent for Cam Neely. And I had a number of people. I just started a computer thing, and I had all these addresses. Well, evidently, Edmund had sent out a fundraiser, not F-U-N-D, F-U-N, fundraiser. And he was like 6 years old. inviting everyone to my house for
Oh, wow.
breakfast. And it literally went out to about 80 people.
Yeah.
Most of them were political or sports oriented.
Yeah.
So Jay fortunately called me and said,
That's
you better
funny.
nip this in the butt.
Yeah.
But you have your fundraiser.
Right, and with the advantages of social media these days, word gets around, and it's a lot easier to promote these things. And we've got a month before that, and we're still looking for donations of tickets to events and things like that, to sporting events if anybody wants to donate. But we will have one of the other prizes we have for an auction item is tickets to a Bruins game in the fall of 2017 with the Zamboni ride.
Oh, great.
And that went for a couple $1,000s last year. Yeah, so that's a great prize. Yeah. And we will have some Red Sox tickets and dinners. We put together some packages and things. So there's
and
a
the varied
lot to bid
interests,
on.
like you said, there's the stuff geared more towards women,
Right,
stuff geared more
right.
towards men, and the fanatics. And
Right.
They said
And-
people like to eat.
and Lexus, Herb Chambers Lexus in Hingham, has donated a really nice Lexus basket that's worth about $500, and then they're also donating a few car details. You don't have to have a Lexus to go there. You can go there with your
vehicle.
certificate and get your car detailed, and that's about $150 value. So
Sure.
we'll have a couple of those for this Friday night, and then also for the March 4th event. So Mary Hickey and I have been out there just, hands out for a good cause, and people are responding. It's
Sure.
really amazing.
People like to give when they know it's going for a
Right,
good cause.
right.
And basically, my selfish versus Abington is.
Yeah,
It's,
I'm actually kind of amazed, and it makes me feel good that I go to these places and I mention Jeff Coombs, and they say, we know Jeff's story.
right.
And it's been going on 16 years now. We just had our 16th Christmas without Jeff, and people are remembering. And they've always said, "Never forget, never forget," and it's ringing true. And part of that is because we've been out there so much. And,
Sure.
And I write about it, and we've had so many events, and our road race every year. By the way, the road race this year is going to be September 10th.
Okay.
So I want people to mark
that
their
on the
calendars
calendar.
for that.
Yeah.
As, most road races kind of
Fade
run
out.
their course, pardon the
Yeah.
pun, in 10 years, and ours is going on 16.
I remember you were talking about, should we do it after 10?
Yeah.
And there was such an outpour, like, we want to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's, I've been really encouraged by Dave Majensky, Chief of Police in Abington, as he put it. That run put Abington on the map. And, also by the people who participate in it. They love the event.
Right.
And the town, I think, loves the event because it's such a great way to bring people together.
And it's so family oriented.
Yeah.
It's not geared for runners. It's
Right,
geared for families.
right. It's, it's almost like we have a family day and a run broke out.
Right. Yeah.
So, but so that's going to be September 10th this year. And we're also finally going to be, we've been talking about this for a while now, we're finally going to be dedicating the steel in, I believe it's going to be in April. We're waiting for the,
Weather
the warm weather
sure.
to set in a little bit. But that's being constructed now. And
it's still going to be near the police station?
It's going to be right in front of the
Okay.
police station. So we're looking forward to an April dedication date. We still have to work that out. I spoke to the governor the other night, and he wants to be there.
Nice.
We've got an inscription on it from Senator Kennedy, something that he actually wrote to me. I searched long and hard for the right words to put on the memorial, and I was talking to my kids about it, and my son said, look at the letters that Senator Kennedy wrote to you and see if there's something on there, and I found a great inscription.
Great.
That's going on
I remember
in
it hadn't
memorial.
been decided when we
Yeah,
talked last.
and so I'm hoping that his wife Vicki will be able to come help us with the dedication
Nice.
and reach out to her, and so it'll be a nice event, and I think that'll draw a lot of people.
Sure.
Because people have been waiting for it, and that's another thing that we're still looking for funds for it to help with the funding of that.
Okay.
We've gotten some support from the American Legion and the bank, Abington Bank, and some individuals, and so we're still looking for more
Sure.
contributions for that. So.
Okay, and we're looking at maybe late April, mid-April or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Well,
as it gets closer, you'll
Yeah,
know.
Easter is April 16th, I believe, which is that Sunday. The marathon's April 17th.
Yeah.
So I just texted my kids the other day and said, when can you guys
When are
get
you gonna be
home
here?
for
Right,
it?
yeah.
Because I want them here,
Oh, sure.
obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, yeah, the last 2 weeks of April, maybe on a weekend, a Friday or a Saturday,
Sure.
probably a Saturday. And yeah, so we've been busy, a
As
lot
usual.
going on. You know, unfortunately, there's a lot of need out there, so there's a lot of reason to keep raising the money and paying it forward in memory of Jeff, and that's basically what it comes down to, and that's what it's all about.
I was saying how busy you were just today, literally coming from doing
Yeah.
from the Patriots here. You always, if you want something done, you give it to the busiest person.
Yeah.
I've said that to Sean Riley for years.
Yeah.
Because he's always doing this and that. And,
Yeah,
and
Sean's been a
yourself.
big help, and you know, Sean's been helping to get people geared up for the dinner dance, and you know, he's always checking in about the memorial. And I know he'll be a big part of planning that. He doesn't know it yet. But,
Right, he will be though,
but he
because
will
he's
be.
a
Yeah,
busy
it's
guy.
what he does.
Right.
And Doug Ulwick has been awesome with the design of the memorial, and
Super.
you know, working with him on the Abington Celebrates things.
Right, we've had him on a
Yeah,
couple times.
yeah, and you know, we're gearing up for all that's coming up. We've got a few events coming up with Abington Celebrates. You know, we hosted the Oktoberfest this year, and we decided, in conjunction with the Danny Vasilian Foundation, to have our part of it, which was the family part of the Oktoberfest, to be free. It was our way of giving back. And Joe's Crazy Critters came out, and I asked them, I said, can you do a petting zoo? So they did a petting zoo, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And we drew thousands of people that day, and
Super.
you know, we're looking forward to doing that again in October. And I said, somebody said, are you going to charge this time? I said, once you do that for free, you can't go back and say,
right.
oh, now I'm going to charge you.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's our way of saying thank you for your support. You know, we don't just take and run.
Right.
It's always about paying it forward and, you know, giving back to the community.
And those events kids will never forget.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
Well, again, I can't thank you enough for all
Well,
the stuff
thank
you've
you.
done and help all these other families, and not only just in Abington, but around the state.
Yeah.
And, you know, keep up the good work. And
Yeah.
I know it's time consuming and
Yeah.
very energy. You need all the energy you need, but good luck and
Yeah,
good work.
thank
and
you. And for Friday night, I encourage people to come out and just let me know by Thursday if you're planning to come. You can get tickets at the door, but if I can have an idea of who's coming,
Right.
that will be very helpful for Emerald Hall to prepare the food and the
Food.
tables and all that. But don't miss out, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it myself.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you. And well, you mentioned Mary Hickey. One of the
Yeah.
causes that I try to espouse often is the Abington Food Pantry. Naturally, Thanksgiving time, Christmas time, people are very generous, but you know, families need food 24/7, and so any help you can give the Abington Food Pantry is truly appreciated. And the next show, I expect to have someone from there to just tell us what they're doing and some of the events they're helping out with. And any assistance you can give them, whether it's toiletries, it doesn't have to be cash. Food itself, I know a lot of times paper goods are something
Yeah.
they're looking for. And to end again on a sad note with the death of Mr. Vasilian, just any support you can give them and other families, and just think of them in your prayers. And again, we'll work together and live together and help each other out. And thank you, and have a good day, and we'll talk to you in a month or so.